Hey, what's up, guys? It's your local newscaster, Wanderson here, and I bring some very somber news today. I heard about this around 3 a.m. last night, but I could not stomach hearing about another mass shooting at the time. So I just turned the TV off and went to bed. From what I saw, the four people had died. I have not read one of these articles yet. I'm going to go through several of these articles and leave their links in the description below if you'd like to check them out. So, once I read bits and pieces of the article, I'll be giving my own take on it. At least 3 dead in California Garlic Festival shooting. A shooting occurred at the Gilroy Garlic Festival in Northern California. Gilroy is located near San Jose. At least 3 people are dead, including a 6-year-old boy, and at least 12 more have been injured, officials say. Spokesperson for the Santa Clara County Health System said that their hospitals received 11 patients with gunshot wounds and 8 more with injuries that weren't gunshot related. So, for those of you wondering, like, how does that happen? Like, how do people get non-gunshot related injuries in a shooting? Well, normally there's a panic. Everyone is running away. They're panicking and they're trying to run away. And sometimes people will run into each other. And it's really the worst of humanity because everyone is really, a lot of times, most people are concerned with just themselves. And if they run into somebody and knock them down, they're probably not going to help them back up because they're like, oh, I don't have time to help them back up. I'm going to get shot if I do. Stuff like that. Which is a real shame. Which, I can understand that line of thought. It's a real shame that people do that. And it's hard to say exactly what you do in that situation because you'll say when you're not in that situation, oh, if I'm running away from something like that, I would help them up. But then say, God forbid, you're actually in that situation, you're freaking out. Adrenaline is pumping. You don't have time to think. All you know is that you're in danger. And it is a big problem. So, who's the suspect in the shooting? The suspect in the shooting has been identified by investigators as 19-year-old Santino William Legan. 2 law enforcement officials have told CNN. And the authorities' response, Gilroy police say the crime scene is still active. So, for those of you who don't know, an active crime scene means that investigators and detectives and whatnot are still all over the crime scene. They're still finding evidence. They're still taking pictures. They're still doing everything they can to figure out exactly what happened, what charges need to be filed, who did it, and everything along those lines. So, this happened. I don't know. It doesn't say when it happened. We just know that it happened yesterday. I do not know about what time quite yet. So here we have a plethora of articles. Here we see the FBI is assisting. Now, here's what's confusing to me. Like, why a garlic festival? I don't understand. Oh, this explains a lot, actually. Over on Twitter, AK-47 is trending. I just saw that it was like number 3 on trending, and I didn't know why. That actually explains a lot. So, I am completely lost for words when it comes to the motive, what possible motive that he may have. Even the FBI and local police have seemed to be at a loss for words, saying that they don't have a motive quite yet. But they did have reports of a potential second suspect, but don't have any confirmation of such a thing. Uh, but there are leads. But we are certainly are investigating all leads to try and determine who that potential second suspect is and what exactly that person's role was. Now, with how loose some gun laws are, now I'm not going to try and turn this into a political statement. All I'm going to say is that some gun laws are fairly loose in some states. California, however, is a more strict state when it comes to gun laws. So he probably purchased the gun out of state and brought it in, which I'm fairly certain it's legal. I don't think California is an open carry state. I don't even think they have concealed carry, actually. Um, I don't really know. All I know is that I think Indiana is concealed carry. I know Michigan is an open carry state. But regardless, things like this, sadly, especially in America, are getting more and more common. And we need to start having better precautions for it. I mean, we've had all these attacks that have formed agencies. Like, entire agencies have been formed because of a handful of attacks or even one attack. For example, the TSA, I believe it's the TSA, was formed after 9/11, and they're now the reason you can't bring water on planes because they've determined anything more than 3 ounces could be turned into an explosive device. So, yeah. Um, and it's a shame that these people, because these people are the worst of the worst, the people who do this, and they are injuring the freedoms of the rest of the country. And that may not be what you want to hear, but they're causing tighter regulation and they're causing, all around harsher punishment in some cases. They're causing a lot of issues more than the incident itself. Because after an incident like this, regulators are going to get together and they're going to talk. They're going to be saying, okay, what can we do to stop this from happening in the future? And a lot of times there's not much that they can do. Because these shootings seem random. Some of them, yeah, there'll be threats made and precautions can be taken to prevent them. But most of the time, these are random. They are unpredictable. Now, yeah, a lot of times these are premeditated, but the suspects keep to themselves so much that no one knows. And it's a real shame because some of these people had such great potential. That kid who did the Boston bombing, everyone was saying he was the nicest guy ever. And that they found it very hard to believe that he did what he did. So, and a lot of people are also, they think they can get away with it. Let me tell you something. You can't. No matter how perfect you think your plan is, we're living in an age where everyone has a little camera in their pocket. Someone is bound to get a picture of your face. And when they do, they will most certainly give it to authorities. So, I'm not going to make a call for tighter regulation. I'm not going to make a call for harsher gun laws. And like even a 6-year old kid, that kid had could have had so much potential. He could have been a CEO for a massive company. He could have been a marketing executive. He could have even been president for all we know. He could have changed this country for the better. He could have led a rights rally and gotten real changes made in the world. He could have done so many things that now he'll never be able to do. And a 13-year-old girl, same thing for her. She could have been president. She could have cleaned up this world's pollution problem. She could have had a massive role in that, but now she'll never get the chance. When this guy is caught, because at this point it is when, not if, because investigators are going to work around the clock to figure out who did this when they have two victims that are minors. This man deserves nothing less than a life sentence. And I hope that's exactly what he receives. Because stuff like this is unforgivable. When you kill a kid, you are immediately one of the worst people on this planet. And you deserve to be locked away for the rest of your life. I don't care if you are 19. We don't even know for sure if this guy is the guy. Because America, while the government, and I think the public should operate on this too, because it's what I operate on, you are innocent until proven guilty. But a lot of times online, I'll see people guilty until proven innocent, which is not how it should be. We should not be denied something because we've been accused of something that we genuinely didn't do. While it's never happened to me, there are plenty of other people who have had that issue. Hell, a movie is being made about it right now. I forget what it's called. I've seen the ads for it. But this man was sentenced for a crime that he didn't commit. He lost 10 years or so of his life because the justice system didn't do their homework. They didn't investigate properly, and they just pointed the finger. And I don't want that to happen to Santino if he is innocent. If it can be proven without a shadow of a doubt that he is guilty, like our legal system is, yes, send him away for life. But if he is innocent, let him go. Because at this point, it's too early to be pointing the finger at anyone. Police have named their suspect, and normally when police name their suspect, that means they're fairly confident. They're fairly confident that this is the guy. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah. Smithy said that investigators found that the suspect used an AK 47 type assault rifle that was purchased legally in the state of Nevada on July the 9th this year. So, yeah, as I was saying, even though the shooting happened in Northern California, the gun was purchased out of state. And it was legally obtained, too. So, this whenever something like this happens, it's a real shame. It's a loss of human life, and it's always going to cause a ripple effect, no matter how small or how high the body count is. It's going to get regulators talking, and it's going to result in tighter regulation. And because of this, I fear that soon we're going to have a state where everything is just under complete and total surveillance. Because these people can't control themselves, I fear that we're going to live in a world where you can't go anywhere without being on camera. You won't be able to do anything without it being duly noted and documented in a permanent file. Now, I know that this is a dystopian future, not a utopian future, but it's still, it's something that some people think is the only way to continue and keep everyone safe. And you could make the argument, don't do anything wrong, you got nothing to fear. But if you're a criminal, run, because you can't hide anymore. That's what these people are saying. And it's a shame, because I don't want that. You probably don't want that. I'm not a criminal, but I don't want to. I also don't want to be watched 24/7 because they think I might do something. Because at that point, we're going back to the mindset of guilty until proven innocent. But at that point, you can't prove yourself innocent. That's all I've got to say for this. Thank you all for watching. This video is not monetized. None of my videos are really, but this video will remain unmonetized for the entirety that it is up. I will leave a link to the CNN page that I was reading from in the description below. And you all have a good one.